moist, yolk, mucus, drool, squelch. Does hearing these words make you feel uncomfortable? If so, you're not the only one. Let me explain to you why that is and which German words have the same effect on me. In English, moist is under the top 3 answers when you ask random people which words they find gross. And that's because of a phenomenon called word aversion or logomisia, which means that a particular word evokes a negative feeling in us, such as discomfort, anxiety, or disgust. Interestingly, these feelings are not related to the things these words describe, but to the terms themselves. Their sounds, their sight, or whatever we associate with them. Moist is a good example. Something being moist is not necessarily a bad thing. Sure, a sweat-drained t-shirt is moist, but so is a moist chocolate cupcake. And that's delicious! Yet the negative connotation of moist kind of outweighs every positive aspect. The German word for moist is feucht. Check out my Patreon page for a detailed vocabulary list. While I don't particularly like feucht, there are a few German words I'm definitely more averse to. For example, das Fleisch, which is German for meat or flesh. Imagine having the same word for a steak and flesh, such as in flesh wound. Makes it easier to become a vegetarian, let me tell you. Meat sounds neat, it literally rhymes. Fleisch, on the other hand, seems creepy, doesn't it? The word itself is the sound that raw, cold, moist meat makes when you touch it. So maybe we tend to dislike words that make us think of a sound we find unpleasant, like an accidental onomatopoeia that somehow triggers our subconscious. From meat to sausages. Another word I consider yucky is die Wurst. I just don't enjoy saying it. I don't want it in my mouth. With just one vowel involved, it feels so short and compressed. Plus, it's a slang word for a turd, so thanks but no thanks. Next up, der Schorf. That's a scab, which is not a pleasant looking thing in the first place, but I'm convinced it's the characteristics of the word itself that gross me out the most. Again, just one vowel, one syllable, and sharp sounds such as sh and f. Wait, do I sense a pattern here? 2 other words I wanted to mention were der Schmalz, lard, and der Schweiß, sweat. And the same applies to them. Maybe there's something about short words with many consonants and sh sounds that trigger disgust in me? Only one way to find out if that's a thing. Thumbs up if Schorf, Schweiß, and Schmalz make you cringe too. The umlaut ü followed by ps or ts has the same uncomfortable effect on me. For instance, I really don't like the word die Sülze, which is a German specialty, a sort of jellied loaf. Or also die Grütze, which is a red berry pudding. In fact, I find them more disgusting than die Kotze, puke, or die Rotze, snot, which kind of proves that it's not about the meaning, but about the sound and the composition of the word. Rülpsen, to burp, is another example. It feels so uncomfortable for me to say rülpsen, I'd rather... Another thing I noticed while writing this script is that the words I picked don't rhyme with many others. Wurst, Durst, the thirst, but that's it. Sülze, Hülze, Schnülze, Knülze, Fülze, Rülpsen, Schnülpsen, Kulzen, Wülzen, Tülzen. So is it possible that we find them less appealing because they're not like the others? Because they have edges and stand out? Starting to relate to these words right now. That would also explain why my number 1 pick for this video is die Geschwulst. Just saying it, Geschwulst, feels like you're getting ready to throw up. Die Geschwulst is a growth or a lump on your body. And whoever came up with this term really put effort into making it sound as ugly as possible. Geschwulst. Good luck finding a word that rhymes with that. Der Knorpel, die Leiche, schwabbeln. I could go on with words like that for hours, but I feel like I've tortured your ears enough. In the articles I read online, people described hearing words such as moist as equally unnerving to hearing a fork scratch over a plate. So yeah, if you're still here, thank you for bearing with me today. Which words make you cringe the most? Tell me in the comments and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!